The blazing sun cast a golden glow over the vast grasslands of Kruger National Park, South Africa. A light breeze swept through, carrying the scent of earth, grass, and the breath of wild animals. Standing atop a small hill, the most powerful male lion in the region surveyed the prey below with piercing eyes. Its golden mane shimmered in the sunlight, radiating authority. Each step it took sent ripples of tension across the savanna. It was the undisputed king, a predator without rivals. Down in the valley, a herd of antelope grazed peacefully. The lion narrowed its eyes, locking onto an older lead antelope, whose gait was slightly unsteady due to an old wound. The perfect target. Instinct took over. Its muscles tensed, waiting for the perfect moment. It moved with calculated precision, adjusting each step to close in silently. When the distance was right, it lunged forward at an incredible speed. Like a bolt of lightning, the lion charged. The herd scattered in terror, its powerful legs slicing through the air as it closed in on its target. Each stride was calculated, each bound an exhibition of raw power, its breath coming in sharp, controlled bursts like a true ruler of the wild. But then, something unexpected happened. The terrified antelope, instead of fleeing into the grasslands, leapt into the lake. A desperate act of survival. Its hunting instincts overriding reason, the lion jumped in after it. But it didn't know it had just made a deadly mistake. The moment it hit the water, a sense of helplessness washed over it. It tried to paddle, but quickly realized the water was deeper than expected. Powerful underwater currents pulled it away, and no matter how hard it tried, its razor-sharp claws were useless in the icy depths. It thrashed, muscles straining, but it was futile. Each time it tried to surface, the currents dragged it back down. Its chest burned from the lack of oxygen, its heartbeat hammering erratically. The once proud golden eyes, filled with the arrogance of a king, now only held fear. Waves crashed, pushing it further from shore. White foam bubbled around its massive frame. A deep roar echoed, but was quickly silenced beneath the water. The lion was swallowed by the cold abyss. From a distance, Chio, an experienced ranger, was patrolling the lake. He was no stranger to lion hunts, but something about this scene felt different. He stopped his vehicle, his eyes narrowing in suspicion. The lion had disappeared beneath the water. Impossible. A chill ran down his spine. Without a second thought, Chio bolted from his vehicle, sprinting toward the lake. He ripped off his jacket, his boots flung aside. Without considering the danger, Chio dove into the freezing water. The murky depths blurred his vision. He swam deeper, searching frantically. Through the silty water, a mass of golden fur was sinking. Chio kicked hard, propelling himself toward the lion with reckless speed. With every ounce of strength, he grabbed its front leg, using sheer force to haul it upward. The sheer weight of the lion made the rescue even harder. The icy water numbed his limbs, his muscles screaming for relief, but he couldn't stop. Every passing second meant the lion's chances of survival dwindled. Chio pushed forward, determination burning in his eyes. He took a deep breath, summoning his last reserves of energy to push the lion onto the shore. On the shore, the lion lay motionless. Water dripped from its heavy, soaked fur, its breath seemingly absent. Its once majestic golden eyes, now closed and lifeless, no longer held the fire of the savanna's king. A haunting silence filled the air, broken only by the howling wind and Chio's pounding heartbeat. Chio quickly placed his hands on the lion's chest, beginning CPR. One compression, then another, still no response. Sweat mixed with the cold water trickling down his face. Refusing to give up, he proceeded with mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, an act no one would have believed possible on a wild lion. His warm breath filled the lion's nostrils, clinging to the fragile hope that life had not yet abandoned the beast. 1 second, then another. Still nothing. Gritting his teeth, Chio pushed harder, his hands pressing against the powerful chest. 1 more second, then another. Suddenly, the lion's body convulsed. A weak breath escaped its nostrils, as if it had fought its way back from the brink of death. Slowly, the golden eyes fluttered open, dim but flickering with life. Chio had done it. A shaky breath escaped his own lungs. Relief, exhaustion, and triumph crashed over him all at once. No longer a dying beast before him, but a wild creature reborn, ready to stand again. The lion remained still, neither roaring nor attacking. Instead, it locked eyes with Chio, as if etching the face of the man who had saved it into memory. Its deep, golden gaze held a recognition that defied explanation. That night, Chio stayed beside the lion, ensuring its full recovery. A small fire flickered nearby, not too close to frighten it but enough to ward off the night's chill. The wind whistled through the trees, blending with the lion's steady breathing, a melody of coexistence between man and beast. Each breath it took was a heartbeat of the savannah, a rhythm of the wild coming back to life. Chio watched it, wondering, would it still be there when he woke up? Would it vanish into the night without looking back, as solitary predators often did? Deep down, he knew this encounter was far from over. At dawn, as the sun crept over the horizon, the lion rose. Its massive frame trembled for a moment before regaining its powerful stance. It lifted its head and let out a thunderous roar, reclaiming its place as king. The sound rippled across the savannah, making every creature tremble. But something was different. Before leaving, it turned back, glancing at Chio one last time, an unspoken understanding passing between them. Then, it walked away, slow but resolute, vanishing into the endless sea of grass. Chio watched, a strange sensation swelling in his chest, not just the satisfaction of saving a life, but the undeniable feeling that he had forged a connection beyond human comprehension. Days passed, and every time Chio patrolled, the lion was there, watching from afar. At first, it stood atop distant hills, a mere shadow at sunrise. But as time went on, it crept closer, no longer just a fleeting silhouette, but a silent, steadfast companion. It was no longer a lone predator. It had become a guardian of sorts, a silent protector standing firm amidst the vast plains. This story is not just about bravery, it is about the profound connection between man and nature. A bond that words could never fully capture but one that could be felt in every unspoken moment between them. The lion was no longer just a wild beast, it had become part of a shared story, woven into the very fabric of Chio's life. Sometimes, an act of kindness can change destinies forever. And from that day on, in the heart of the untamed wilderness, the king and the ranger walked a new path, a silent, noble guardianship, leaving behind an unbreakable legacy. As the moonlight bathed the endless grasslands, Chio knew he would never truly be alone again. Somewhere in the distance, golden eyes watched over him, no longer as a predator, but as a friend, a wild spirit forever bound to the man who had pulled it back from the brink of death. Days passed, and every time Chio patrolled, the lion was there, watching from afar. At first, it stood atop distant hills, a mere shadow at sunrise. But as time went on, it crept closer, no longer just a fleeting silhouette, but a silent, steadfast companion. It was no longer a lone predator. It had become a guardian of sorts, a silent protector standing firm amidst the vast plains. This story is not just about bravery, it is about the profound connection between man and nature. A bond that words could never fully capture but one that could be felt in every unspoken moment between them. The lion was no longer just a wild beast, it had become part of a shared story, woven into the very fabric of Chio's life. Sometimes, an act of kindness can change destinies forever. And from that day on, in the heart of the untamed wilderness, the king and the ranger walked a new path, a silent, noble guardianship, leaving behind an unbreakable legacy. As the moonlight bathed the endless grasslands, Chio knew he would never truly be alone again. Somewhere in the distance, golden eyes watched over him, no longer as a predator, but as a friend, a wild spirit forever bound to the man who had pulled it back from the brink of death.